Is the Lakers front office really about to torpedo their championship dreams by chasing after Klay Thompson, the once great shooter who's now a shadow of his former self? Or the optimist delusional enough to think a 35-year-old bench warmer with bricks for hands can magically resurrect in purple and gold? No! Wake up from this fever dream. Trading for Klay Thompson isn't a poetic masterstroke that reunites legends for one last ring. It's a catastrophic blunder, a desperate grasp at faded glory that wastes precious assets on a washed-up veteran whose declining skills and bloated contract would only drag down LeBron James and Luka Doncic, dooming us to another season of what-ifs and proving once again that nostalgia is the enemy of progress in the cutthroat NBA. Lakers Nation, welcome back to the channel where we don't sugarcoat the hype. We shred it with a kind of raw, unfiltered truth that hits harder than a LeBron chase-down block, leaving you questioning every rumor and ready to dive into the comments to defend your stance. I'm your host, the passionate analyst who's been calling out the highs, lows, and outright delusions of this franchise since the days when Kobe was dropping 60 in his farewell. And we built teams around substance, not sentiment. And today, we're dismantling the ultra-hot rumor that's exploded in the last 24 hours like a misguided fireworks show. Reports that the Los Angeles Lakers are eyeing a trade to bring Klay Thompson from the sinking ship that is the Dallas Mavericks, potentially shipping. Out Maxi Kleber and promising rookie Dalton connect in a deal that reeks of desperation amid our own uneven start to the 2025-26 season. This buzz, fueled by Dallas's dismal 3-7 record and Klay's career worst stats, 7.6 points on abysmal 31.6% from the field and 26.4% from three, culminating in his demotion to the bench, positions the Lakers as a supposed ideal destination to resurrect a four-time champion, giving LeBron James and Luka Doncic an elite floor spacer who commands defensive respect. The proposed package makes sense on paper for a Mavericks team in freefall, desperate for youth like Connect's scoring potential and Kleber's familiarity to rebalance their roster, while we get a short-term contract veteran whose gravity could theoretically open lanes for our stars. Analysts from Fadeaway World are hyping it as the perfect catch-and-shoot role for Klay in a system where Doncic controls the ball and LeBron dictates the pace, bringing playoff experience and a champion's mentality without needing touches. It's being sold as a Zekmate for our title run, aligning with Pelinka's win-now ethos and our financial flexibility for 2026. But let's cut to the romantic nonsense. This trade isn't the key to glory. It's a trap wrapped in nostalgia, a move that ignores Klay's steep decline and overvalues his past at the expense of our future, leaving us with a high-priced role player who can't shoot straight anymore, and further exposing our roster's flaws in a Western Conference where real contenders like the Nuggets and Thunder are loading up on versatile, prime talent. The hottest debates raging across podcasts like the Bill Simmons podcast and the Low Post, where Simmons himself has torched similar veteran chases as delusional overpays for his beans, and amplified by fiery threads on our /NBA calling Klay washed beyond repair, all point to one undeniable truth. Pursuing Thompson is a colossal mistake that mortgages our depth for a player whose best days are long gone, and if Pelinka bites, we'll be left regretting it as another failed experiment in the LeBron era. Let's break this down argument by argument, armed with brutal stats, damning comparisons, and the cold logic that separates fantasy from reality, then project why steering clear of this disaster keeps our title window cracked open while diving in slams it shut for good. First off, let's confront the harsh reality of Klay Thompson's current state and why betting on a resurrection in LA is the kind of wishful thinking that sunk franchises before us. His numbers aren't just down, they're in free fall, screaming that the Splash Brother we remember is gone, replaced by a shell who's more liability than asset. Once a lethal marksman who torched defenses with 41.9% from three on high volume during Golden State's dynasty, Klay's production has cratered since his 2019 ACL and Achilles injuries, bottoming out this season with that abysmal 26.4% from deep on 5.3 attempts per game, numbers that would make even the league's worst shooters blush. In Dallas, he's been a non-factor, posting a -2.1 net rating and getting benched for younger options like Quentin Grimes, as the Mavericks offense stalls to a 108 rated with him on the floor, per cleaning the glass data. Defensively, The guy who once locked down all-stars is now a step slow, allowing opponents to shoot 48% when he's a primary defender and ranking in the bottom 30 percentile for defensive versatility per Synergy Sports. Hardly the elite floor spacer, hyped in reports. The idea that he'd slide into a catch-and-shoot role here, commanding respect and opening lanes for LeBron and Doncic, ignores the tape. Defenses are sagging off him now, daring him to shoot, and he's bricking at a rate that would clog our already inconsistent offense. We're at 110 rating early, dropping to 105 without LeBron. Hot takes from the Bill Simmons podcast are merciless, with Simmons labeling Klay a nostalgia act who's fooling no one, and stats back it up. His true shooting percentage has dipped to 45.2% this year, lower than even struggling vets like Joe Ingles. For a Lakers team that's 2-2 with spacing issues, ranking 22nd in three-point attempts at 32 per game, adding a 35-year-old who's lost his stroke isn't a fix. It's compounding the problem, turning potential open looks into wasted possessions, and exposing us further in a West where teams like OKC and Minnesota punish inefficient shooters. Comparisons to past failed veteran revivals, like Carmelo Anthony's stint with us in 2021-22, where his declining defense and shooting led to a 33-49 record, are eerily similar. Klay risks the same. His mentalidad de campeão meaningless if he can't hit shots or stay on the floor without being targeted. Shifting gears, the second damning argument against this trade is the lopsided cost-benefit ratio. Giving up promising youth like Dalton Connect and a familiar piece like Maxi Kleber for a declining Thompson isn't sacrificing for the title. It's robbing our future to chase a mirage, leaving us cap-strapped and depth-poor in a league where versatility wins over name recognition. Connect, our 2024 first-round pick at number 17, has already shown flashes of scoring upside with 38% from three in preseason and early games, averaging 6 points on efficient looks that project him as a potential 15 to 20-point contributor in time. Exactly the kind of cost-control talent we need for the post-LeBron era, when Doncic will require young, athletic wings to complement his playmaking. Kleber, meanwhile, provides a Jagador Cola depth with his 35% three-point shooting and switchable defense, fitting Redick's system without the drama. Trading them for Thompson's short-term deal, 2 years, $50 million remaining, might align with 2026 flexibility, as reports note, but it's a steep overpay for a player whose value has plummeted. His trade market is lukewarm at best, with Dallas potentially dumping him to rebalance after their 3-7 start, yet we'd be surrendering real upside for a guy who's been outplayed by rookies. The hottest contrarian takes on our /NBA are brutal, with users calling it vending the future for scraps, and data supports that. Thompson's minus 3.2 box plus minus this season ranks him among the league's worst rotation players, while Connect's plus 1.8 in limited minutes hints at growth. For a Lakers team with limited draft capital, just one unprotected first in 2027, this depletes our bench without addressing core issues like our 18th ranked defense or bench scoring 28 points per game, leaving us relying on aging stars and exposing us to injuries like LeBron's sciatica. Comps to the Nets trading young assets for James Harden. Initial hype, long-term regret as age caught up. Warn of the pitfalls. Thompson, at 35 with injury history, risks the same. His experiencia to playoffs, worthless if he's unplayable in big moments. The third pillar exposing his rumors' flaws is Thompson's tactical misfit in our current system. His declining athleticism and shooting woes wouldn't maximize anything. They'd exacerbate our spacing issues and force awkward adjustments that disrupt the chemistry between LeBron and Doncic. Reports hype his gravity as a catch-and-shoot threat, but that's outdated. Defenses are leaving him open now, and he's converting just 26.4% of those looks, a far cry from his 41% peak. In Redick's motion offense, which relies on quick decisions and off-ball movement, Thompson slowed foot speed. He's in the 25th percentile for lateral quickness. For tracking data, would make him a defensive target, much like how teams hunted him in Dallas's collapses. Pairing him with Doncic's ball-dominant style might sound good, but without reliable shooting, it clogs lane for LeBron's drives and AD's post-ups, dropping our three-point efficiency 32% early, even lower. Debates on fadeaway world acknowledge his mentalidad, but hot takes from the low post call it overrated. His playoff averages have dipped to 12 points on 35% from three. Since 2022, hardly inestimable. For us, with early struggles in transition defense, allowing 15 fast break points per game, adding a vet who's lost a step risks more breakdowns, not the Espacamento we need. Comps to Gary Trent Jr.'s failed stint in Toronto, hyped shooter who flopped due to decline, are cautionary. Thompson could follow. His short-term contract a small consolation for the opportunity cost of not pursuing younger, hungrier talent. The fourth and final nail in this rumor's coffin is the broader strategic blunder. Chasing Thompson diverts from our real needs, youthful depth and long-term planning, and plays into Dallas's hands, strengthening a rival while weakening our post-LeBron foundation. With LeBron at 40 and vocal about load management, we need moves that build sustainability, not short-term band-aids. Trading Connect potential for Thompson's decline echoes the Westbrook fiasco, where we sacrificed future for faded star power and crashed out early. Reports note Dallas's collapso, but helping them retool with our youth is foolish. They gain Connect scoring in Kleber's fit, while we get a vet whose Respiro Defensivo is waning. Hot takes from Sports Illustrated warn it's not Zekmate, but checkmate against ourselves, depleting depth in a cap-strap league. Projecting ahead, avoiding this Thompson trap isn't cowardice. It's cunning that preserves our assets and keeps our contention flexible, blending immediate tweaks with future-proofing. Short term, steering clear lets us target cheaper spacers like Buddy Hield or internal growth with Connect, stabilizing our 2-2 start and pushing for a top for seed without overcommitting. With LeBron's window narrow, this saves resources for deadline deals that add real impact, turning inconsistencies into strengths. Long term, retaining Connect positions us for a Doncic-led era, attracting free agents with depth rather than being saddled with an aging contract.